And welcome back. Time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of KWTV.com. Pat, you wrote about a new study that found Oklahoma, at least in the past, was the nation's 11th most corrupt state. Why don't you give us a summary of that report, and are we really still that bad off?
Okay, the study runs from 1976 to 2008. It was posted at Public Administration Review. I've got the names of the authors and, the documentation of how they did the study. 25,000 cases of convictions, I should say, for bribery and other forms of public malfeasance in the federal system. Okay, so that's the range. It's federal, 25,000 total nationwide. In that ranking, Oklahoma fell just barely out of the top 10. We were 11th. The most corrupt state in the country, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, some states that might not surprise you, a couple that might. South Dakota, that kind of surprised me. On the flip side, I should mention first that one of the things a colleague of mine in the Watchdog system did was figure out the cost per capita if those 10 most corrupt states had merely had average corruption compared to the rest of the country. And it would have meant $1,300 less in per capita spending because of the use of public money to obtain, basically in most cases, bribes. The least corrupt states were Oregon, as a progressive or liberal state, but there's also some conservative states like New Hampshire and Utah and Nebraska. And Vermont is an interesting one among the least corrupt. So bottom line, Andy Sprague, professor at Oklahoma City University, said this is a legacy of our one-party rule, which only began to erode in the late 2000s, first decade. But then he went on to immediately add, what this means is we need to watch out for the flip side of one-party rule by one party and replacing it with another. The bottom line here is that the bribe-generating structure of some governments, where money is spent on construction projects, on highways and things where there's cash and there's an ability to send money one way or another based on, in some cases, a bribe. It's a great study, and my story is available.
All right, now you saw and reviewed a somewhat controversial new film called America. It's a documentary political film, which went into nationwide release this week. Give us a thumbnail of that.
It's powerful, polemical, provocative. It will infuriate some people. Pardon me, it's very well made, very much like Michael Moore's documentaries on the left, if you will. This is by Dinesh D'Souza. He does something very unusual. In the first one-third of the film, he basically gives the platform to the hard left, the hard left in America, to condemn our country and most things about it. The rest of the film is a defense. He targets, with a lot of strong rhetoric, Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. He also includes Bono in a speech from Georgetown where Bono talked about the American idea, very eloquent. Finally, watch it. If nothing else, stay through the credits to see the most hard-rocking version you've ever seen of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Okay.
Right.
With that, I'm going to see it. All right. You can read more about these and other topics at KWTV.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great day.